Okay, I'm inside the entrance to Skylight Cave. Yes, I climbed down that ladder all by myself. Really proud of that. It's only about 15 feet down, so if you fall down, you shouldn't do too horrible of a death. So, let me come over here so you can look around the entrance. There's a dead tree. Wonder if anybody's tried to climb in and out there. Doesn't seem particularly safe, but then again, being here at all doesn't seem particularly safe, so never mind. All right, I'm gonna go see if I can, I'm gonna go forward first because I know this is the part of the cave that's not that interesting. Let me turn on some light here so you can see. Notice the cave's pretty wide. Dozens of feet wide, even where the ceiling comes down too low to stand up. Very rough wall here. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to focus. I got the autofocus on, but it's being stupid. Alright, here we go. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to make the aperture bigger. It's the low light performance of this camera isn't that great. There we go. Now, let's see if the dang thing will focus. There. Alright. So if you scroll up here, look how rough the ceiling is. Ooh, alright. Let me, around a little bit. Notice lower, the wall is really smooth. And the floor is really flat here mostly. Very easy cave, as long as that ladder's in place. In the winter, the cave closes, so they actually remove the ladder so people can't come in when it's closed. Alrighty then. I heard bats hibernate here in the winter, so they close in the winter to protect the bats. Very interesting ceiling, a bit uneven. Not too colorful, mostly just gray. We're not very far underground, so let me turn around, look at the entrance. There we are. There's the ladder and the tree. Take your pick. Choose your poison, however you say that. Notice the cave's getting smaller going this direction, and the floor is getting rougher. Definitely a good cave to teach beginners to be careful, because if you run through here, you'll trip and fall, but as long as you don't fall from above, you're not gonna die. So it's a good place to teach people. Yes, you really do have to pay attention. Interesting place for the ceiling's a temporary, a little higher. Little bulge in the ceiling. Still very rough ceiling. I'm not going to touch it to protect it, but it's really rough. It's similar to concrete, but it's so much rougher. It's not smoothed out at all. See, the floor has been worn out in the middle where people have been going. I got knee pads on in case I need it. Wow, it's colder back here. Probably should have worn boots. Kind of a rough cave. Notice over here in the mud where water has been dripping from the ceiling, making pock marks. So the ceiling is uneven, right? So the water drops from the lowest points of the ceiling since it flows downhill. Then where it hits the softer ground, makes a cool little impact crater. So notice the cave, it gets much lower. Still pretty wide. See if I can look back here. Yeah, see, you'd have to crawl back there a little bit. I'm way too lazy to care. Crawl over this background pile. Aha. So look, there is room to get over the breakdown pile. There's a lot of room to go to the left here too. I'm gonna try to go ahead and see if I can get through here without getting myself too badly hurt we're stuck. So I'll go up over the top first. See if I can find anything cool. Here we go. Wow, this isn't so difficult. It's a little steep and slippery though. Like I said, this cave is just hard enough that beginners will learn that they have to be serious. Darn it, why is my gimbal being stupid? As you see, the cave got bigger now. So it's just temporarily small because of a pile of breakdown rock partially blocking it. Huh, there's like one clean spot. I wonder if that's natural or from people touching it or what. It's like a darker spot for some reason. Notice here how suddenly it's taller. Almost like it went back to the surface. Almost would have been another skylight. Just didn't quite that far up. Wow. Interesting indeed. I'm standing up. The cave here is a couple dozen feet wide. Dozens of feet tall. Very easy cave, except for a couple small obstacles to keep you awake. Look at the wall, how rough it is. Another little high point of the ceiling, not as tall as the other one. A little bit of cave there. And same thing here. A little bit tall spot in the ceiling. Some breakdown rocks in the floor here. Still pretty wet here. The ground is dry above, but we had a pretty good winter. Had some moisture. So now we get to be some water moisture inside the cave. Oops. Yeah, my shoes don't have very good traction. So I have to be careful here. Make sure I don't plummet to my doom. All right. Darn it. There's some places to put my feet, but they're not particularly safe or easy. So I have to kind of watch what I'm doing. That's how the ceiling kind of slopes down here. Interesting. I already made a 3D model of this cave, but it's fun to come see it in person too. So look at this, how the ceiling gets lower. Pan up, it's a little taller here. Look how sharp those points are on the ceiling. Those are fragile. Please don't touch those. All right, let's see if I can get through here. Notice how low it is to the right there. Almost as low to the left. Notice there's a trench though. So the question is, do I want to bother to climb through here? Well, I see it looks like it gets taller again. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. How bad could it be? I have knee pads, but not elbow pads. So I need to be a little bit careful here. I keep joking about getting elbow pads, but I never do. Oh well. So I'm standing up again. Notice the floor is so wet, it basically has puddles at this point. Very flat and smooth though. Except for the crawling, it's easy. Oops. All right, here we go again. Question is, how much crawling do I even want to do? Huh. There's a serious puddle right here. If I go through here, I'm gonna risk getting my precious footsies all wet. Okay, so now this is where I'm calling it quits. As you can see, I could climb through there, or I could crawl through there. I don't remember how much farther it goes, but those are belly crawls. I just don't feel like doing a belly crawl today. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn around here. Notice the floor has puddles, wet spots. Ceiling. It's got some graffiti here. People vandalized it. In the good old days, before like cameras and videos, people got to the end of the cave to prove they made it to the end of the cave. They'd like write their name at the end of the cave, like a sign-in register. So some caves, what they do now, they actually do have like a piece of paper you can sign, official sign-in register, so people don't vandalize the actual cave. My gimbal's being stupid. Got the gimbal. It's touchscreen. I accidentally touched the wrong button. There we go. Wow, look how rough the ceiling is up there. Kind of scary, huh? But yeah, see, you could crawl through there. Notice the pile of stuff. Chipmunks or something probably brought that in. Here's the way out, right where there's a sign that says in. All right, whatever. That's how uneven the ceiling is here. Interesting. And the floor. So there's a little trench. Where the ceiling will appear to be the tallest since the floor is the lowest. Although obviously if it gets wet it can fill up with water and be the wettest. There we go. Sure glad I remembered knee pads. The other end of the cave where the skylights are, it's a lot easier. But as long as I'm here, weighs 40 gallons of gas to get here, might as well make it worth the trip, see everything. There's that rough ceiling again. Wow. Oops. Floor is a bit rough too. So here's a nice breakdown pile. There's the ceiling, a little bit uneven, not too bad. That's cool. Look at this hole in the ceiling shaped like a big triangle because a rock shaped like a triangle broke out. That's where they're like cracks in the rock and they intersected, pulled apart. Probably thermal stress fractures, something like that. See, here's another spot where the ceiling's nice and tall. Gets a little bit lower. Very uneven. It's kind of fun when it's wider at the bottom, skinnier at the top. It's like a big gumdrop or something. So here's that breakdown pile of rock. I went over the top, see how the floor is covered with dirt, so that's why I was saying it's a little bit slippery on the way down. Turns out I didn't have to do that, of course. I could just go over here to the right. So that's what I'll do on the way out. Be a little bit simpler and easier. But the ceiling's lower, so I have to watch my head and my neck, my back, stuff like that. Huh. Notice how uneven the ceiling is here. Very pretty. I'm standing on now, but I'm gonna have to crouch down again. Just a bit. All right, so now I'm back to the entrance. That natural light is the entrance. Got stairs out of here. Very difficult to get out of this cave without those stairs. A little bit bulge up in the wall here where it gets a little taller and wider, very temporarily. Notice the rock is grayer here near the entrance. It was lighter back there. So my cave video is going to come out a little bit darker. Just gotta pan up so you can see the ceiling bulges up a little there, bulges up a little there too. But it's a bit uneven. All sorts of interesting cracks and so on. Get over here to the side so you can see here how the cave bulges up, the ceiling does. Oh wow, I don't know if you can see this. There's a whole bunch of bugs on the ceiling. I don't think they're mosquitoes. Definitely not moths. Not sure what they are, but there's a lot of them. Thank goodness they're mosquitoes, or I'd be screwed. It's a technical term. But yeah, come over from this side. Same thing here. You can see there's all sorts of bugs flying around up there. And then the ceiling's very uneven and rough over there. Fascinating. Notice I could go around the entrance behind here, but the ceiling is lower. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over here to the right so I can stand up. Be a little bit easier and safer. Looks like it's getting sunny outside. I was actually hoping to be cloudy. That'd make the lighting more even near the skylights. So there's the way through over there. Let me go over here to the left behind the ladder so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, see, I could have gone under there. That's where I just was. Here's the ladder of doom. There's the emergency escape tree. Yeah, good luck with that. So there's the main tube over to the skylights, hence the name Skylight Cave. Here's another place the ceiling bulged up almost to the surface. Could add another skylight there, but we didn't. Notice over here by the entrance, there's stuff growing on the walls where there's natural light. Then you get farther away, it's just bare rock. There's no light to support photosynthesis. Notice the floor is pretty rough at this end of the cave. The ceiling's kind of ugly too. Definitely watch your head and other body parts. But if you stay in the middle where it's taller, it's definitely easier. There, see the natural light? When I get a little closer, it'll be more obvious. I'm gonna take my time. I'm officially in a hurry. This is my only cave I'm doing today, but still. There. Now that's Skylight Cave. If you go on the internet and search for pictures of Skylight Cave, you'll see a picture a lot like this view. Notice the shape where it's wider at the bottom and skinny at the top. Then you got that beam of light. Keep in mind, this time of year, the sun is to the south. It's about noon, so yeah, the sun's pretty much due south. So that'll give you an idea which way I'm oriented. I'm basically facing kind of east right now. It's not exact. But yeah, if you look at the size here, I'm going to pan up. Look at that. The ceiling's dozens of feet tall. Pretty cool. But look at how different colors from cracks and so on. I don't remember how old this cave, but it's pretty old. Tens of thousands of years probably. If you look, there's actually 3 skylights there. A small one just before the big one. There's a third small one, but you can't see it yet. I'll get there in a minute. Or 5. Or 10. It's one of my favorite quotes from Dumb and Dumber. You're going to have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. Yeah. Huh, there's steam coming up. That's not smoke. That's like moisture being evaporated from the sunlight. That light is just sunlight. It would be kind of comfy here at night. Okay, so here we go. There's the small skylight. There's the bigger skylight. There's a third small skylight over there you can't see yet because of the way the ceiling sags down. There's a trail here to the left. Excuse me. All right, so there's first skylight. That's maybe 2 feet wide. Oops, dang it, almost lost my balance. All right, this one's actually bigger, but you can't see it because of the shelf to the left blocking the view. But as you can see, it's dozens of feet up, so it wouldn't be a good idea to try to jump through there. But of course, you know how to rope climb. It'd be a perfectly good place to go rope climbing. I think there's a rule about putting anchors inside the cave. Okay, so here's the third skylight. See, that one's really small, like a foot long, 6 inches wide. So I don't think you'll be able to fall completely through there if you want to, which would be kind of a stupid thing to want to do anyway. All right. All right. So now the cave gets smaller and smaller. Just a minute. I accidentally hit my flashlight at 100%. If I leave it 100%, it overheats. So, but if I leave it at 50%, it lasts pretty much forever until the battery goes dead. So I was trying to leave it at 50%, but it's easy to accidentally adjust it. But almost to the end of the cave anyway. Well, that's it. Notice how it's narrow. It's still really tall. It's really skinny at the top. Look at that narrow rock up there. It's like fin-shaped rock or something. Kind of cool. But yeah, don't touch it. Very fragile. Anything is fragile if it's thin enough. Of course, anything is really skinny, really thin, it's flexible. I wonder how thin diamond would have to be able to bend a diamond. That'd be fun to look up on the internet. All right, here we go. I've been here almost half an hour. Cool. Like I said, I'm short for time, so once I'm done with this cave, I have to head back home. Kind of sad. Oh well. Uh-huh. All right. Well, you know what? Since I'm almost done with the cave anyway, I think I'm going to turn my flashlight back up to 100%. So notice there's a bright spot on the ground where the light from above comes. Let's see how it looks different with my light at 100%. Doesn't seem like it makes much difference. Oh wow. I don't know if you can see it in the video. Yeah, that light to the left, that's the way out. That's the exit. Cool. So I got bolts. All right. Have to watch my step. The rocks here are a bit tricky. So there's the first skylight. I already showed all 3 skylights from above in the same video. Yeah. See if I can get over here all the way to the left side. So you see there's light on the floor here from the sunlight coming down. There's also light there on the wall from light coming through that skylight. Same thing here. There's light on the floor down there from that skylight. It's just a little bit of light on that wall from that skylight. Interesting. So other than the skylights, this cave isn't that interesting. There's like no formations, no bats, just a bunch of bugs, rock. I'm the only one here. This is like one of the caves closest to Bend, so sometimes in the summer, there's quite a few people here. If they doubled their drive here, the road here is ugly. There used to be a better road, but they closed it to keep people away. Looks like it's been working pretty well. Wow, this sure is a colorful ceiling. Not like red, green, and blue, but you know, black and white. Okay, it's black and white color. Politically correct color. All right, here we go. Huh. I can only shoot half an hour video at a time. I'm at 28 and a half minutes now. Wonder if I can make it back to the entrance before my time is up. This part of the video is not that interesting. It's just how to get out. Notice how dark the floor is because it's wet. In the middle, on the side, it's light because it's dry. Plus, there's kind of like mud and stuff too. Wow, but look at this ceiling. It's a scary looking ceiling right there. Well, all right. Do you double dog dare me to shoot video on the way up? I got 30 seconds left in this video. Let's see if I can make it. There we are. There's Skylight Cave, Oregon. Sharp.